Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters Business, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I had on a guest in the past, and I liked him so much I had to bring him on back for a return episode. Today's guest is Berto Antunano, who is Vice President of Business Development over at MIT National Land Services, which is a Newmark Knight Frank company. Berto, welcome back to the show.
Adam, thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
All right, so excited to get into this new episode. It's like this new reunion episode. It's like bringing the podcast family back. I'm excited. We had a really blessed year last year. I don't want to assume that all of our new listeners caught your first episode, so let's just start out with just a basic overview of what you're doing over at MIT National Land Services, please.
All right, sure. So MIT is a national commercial and residential title insurance company. As you just mentioned recently, we were acquired by Newmark Knight Frank, which has been fantastic for us. Obviously, it helps our brand recognition. Newmark is one of the top 3 real estate advisory firms in the world. So it's obviously given us a lot of access to other opportunities and financing to be able to cross-sell within the Newmark ecosystem. And we just, working hard, continuing to grow.
Let's go further down that path. I know you've been doing a lot in commercial real estate recently through this new acquisition with Newmark Knight Frank. So let's go a little bit further. Tell us a little bit more about the products you've been working on.
So I would say a few specific projects that we've been working on recently have been, what did we just do? We just closed a nice $78 million deal in Illinois, which was referred to us by our partners over at Newmark. Henry Stimler of the Weber Stimler team on the debt and equity side was able to connect us with Debbie Corson over at ARA, which is part of Newmark, one of the largest multifamily brokerages in the country. And we were able to close a nice deal together with them. And as I continue to develop my relationships with our developers, we're doing some fun projects together. I was an investor as well as the title insurance agent for a 400-unit development in LSU. My friends at SNC Capital are buying, student housing throughout the country. I've also done the same thing with my friends at Astral Properties, who buy 3 and 4 families throughout Greenpoint. And it allows us to meet interesting people. I met with this gentleman of Croft, which is a new sort of WeWork concept, but not in the city, right? It's something that takes you away from the city, that puts you into like more of a nature and creative mindset. So I actually met with them today. So a lot of creative things are happening now that we are, growing our commercial real estate side of the business, and it's very exciting.
Let's get a little bit more into the continuing education side, because I know you do quite a bit on that side too. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, the school's been fantastic. So there's 2 sides of the business, right? There's our commercial real estate side, and as I mentioned, besides title insurance, we're always looking to help our developers source opportunities and, find financing opportunities. But on our day-to-day business, our residential business here in New York has been just rocking and rolling. Myself personally, I did over 500 deals last year.
So first off, I just got to say congrats. That was a great year. Let's not glance over that 500 Gs.
Listen, 500 deals was a lot. I think the final number was about 520 deals, largely in part to the refi boom. With rates being this low, even though some say the market is in flux here in New York, with rates being this low, it's a great opportunity to buy, and to refinance. So I'm actually refinancing one of my properties out in Denver. And last year, my wife and I bought a 2-family in Bushwick, and we're in contract to buy another one in Bed-Stuy right now. So the market's fantastic, right? And it was a good year last year, and we hope to continue growing, of course.
Man, that's awesome. Anything else interesting, like themes or anything else that you're noticing in the market from your vantage point now?
Well, in the market here, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, market is in flux, and I think a lot of people are always trying to time things, similar to the stock market, right? Some people try to sell at the highest point and buy at the lowest point. And I think when you try too hard to capture every single bit of momentum, you can get stuck in like an analysis paralysis sort of situation, or you end up making bad decisions by tying yourself emotionally and trying to wait for these big swings and curves. What I think is the best thing to do is just make an educated decision, right? Put your numbers down, and if you think that an opportunity is worth it, I just say go for it, right? So I think that's sort of the market has been stuck for some brokers, but some of the bigger players are still continuing to have success because they're able to pass on this ideology of what I just mentioned onto their buyers, onto their investors, and letting them know that New York City is still strong. The real estate market throughout the country is still strong, especially the multifamily housing market throughout all major metropolitan areas. And I think 2020 is going to be a fantastic year. Rates continue to be low. And I think those who are, aggressive enough and, willing to make that push forward are going to find a lot of success in this year. And we hope to continue, growing along with everyone else here. So I think it's going to be an exciting 2020.
So, Berto, for the listeners, two final questions. So, number one, what areas do you work in? Number one, and what geography and otherwise. And number two, what's the best way if somebody's listening to this, if they want to follow up with you, what's the best way for them to reach out?
So, in terms of where we work with, it's national, right? Our residential work, although the majority of our business comes from here in New York, just naturally, because that's where our headquarters are. We are a national company. We're licensed in about 40-something states and, continuing to grow. But all of the major 40 states where real estate is really active, we are licensed in. So if anyone is buying or refinancing any residential property, we'd love to be in contact with them. But of course, commercial real estate is where our business thrives and where we're able to add the most amount of value. It's for developers and investors who are buying property or selling property. We're able to show them what clouds may be on title, show them any liens or judgments, deed restrictions or easements that may be on their property, so that they can do two things, right? If they're on the selling side, they can try to clear up some of these title issues before their buyers see it and start asking them for credits. Or if you're on the buyer side, you can use some of that same information, right, as leverage for negotiation to get a better price on property. So we add a lot of value in commercial real estate, and that is national in all 50 states. And there's no deal too big or too small. We are happy to help. The best way to get in contact with us is, I would say, by email, which is bantunano@mitnational.com. I'm sure it'll be in the show notes. And LinkedIn is a fantastic way to keep in touch with me in terms of our upcoming free educational classes, some Newmark updates. We have a lot of, our Newmark research team is incredible. We post a lot of great insight into different territories, the commercial leasing market, the industrial market, and they come up with all these fantastic newsletters, and I post those on my LinkedIn. And Instagram is always fun if you want to connect on a personal level. That's @Berto Antunano. Feel free and follow me. It's a great way to connect personally, and I think in this real estate market, the better that you're able to connect with someone personally, the better your business will be overall. So
fantastic.
Three great ways to connect, yeah.
Well, Berto, it's been awesome having you back for this reunion 2020 episode. All great stuff. Love to hear the great year you had, and excited to see a prosperous 2020 also. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, don't forget to give that a subscribe, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to keep the conversation going with you there. Let's take it to the YouTube community. And Berto, thanks again for coming on the show.